ज्ञानातिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं राधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी श्रीराधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये पञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिव श्री गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीरामचन्द्रतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचक्रं हरे कृष्ण। So Hare Krishna, Dandavata everyone. Hope you are all doing well. And just give me 1 minute, let me share this presentation. So Hare Krishna. Last week we are continuing on the 4th verse. No? Mm. So what is that? The first one is asadvarta. You know. So the goal is, what is the goal? We want to attain. We want to attain the. We want to attain the that love of God. You know. And we want to attain that eternal service to that divine couple, Radha and Krishna. So Raghunath Das Goswami is actually taking these verses one after another, training the mind, you know. So Asadvarta Visraja. We discussed last week. I just want to continue on that, you know. Can everyone hear me? Can you hear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
We can hear well.
Okay,
Yes, Prabhuji.
so when our guru, like, you know, what is, what is Asadvarta, you know, loose talk, mundane talk. She's like a prostitute, you know. when the corona season, corona talk, election season, election talk, you know, I've seen if you call even your family, either in India or America, anywhere, first 3 minutes, how are you? How are you? If you could talk to them regularly, there's not much. Rest of the talk is basically about other devotees only. I mean, other people only. If it is family, others only. You know, and most of the time we talk about. I mean, there may be some criticism. You know, um, there may be some criticism, or there may be what is that? We just don't hear. You know, on the WhatsApp and the Facebook, they're all part of this only. So we are getting up in the morning, we are chanting our rounds, and we are aging out. We have increased sadhana, you know. But a few minutes here and there, once in a while, I need little sense of gratification also, right? I have cut a lot of, gross sense of gratification. You're telling subtle sense of gratification also. I need to know what's happening in my village, so let me read this news. I need to know what's happening here and there, so let me go through CNN, or what is that different. Then, I mean, 1-2 minutes, there's nothing wrong. So you need to be aware of what's happening. But usually it doesn't end with 1-2 minutes. Facebook, it doesn't end with, does it end with 2-3 minutes? Facebook, does it end with 2-3 minutes? Hare Krishna. So Facebook is created based on the weakness. We want to know about others' lives. What is happening in their life? Asadvarta. She's like a prostitute. Just continuously discuss politics. The next day, you remember China. Just talk about other devotees. And without your knowledge, definitely some malice flows in that. Next day, they see your chanting. Eighth round also, this chant, whatever you have spoken, it will come. You don't feel that. You don't feel that urge. You don't feel that emotion. So I want to tell you this. When we get initiated, our Guru, he plants the seed of bhakti in our heart. But unfortunately, our heart also has so many weeds, so many unwanted seeds, which have turned into weeds. So we are sincerely, we know our heart is impure, no doubt. Heart is impure means what? It has a samskaras. Samskaras means the desire to enjoy everything other than Krishna. I mean, everything is there. Desire to enjoy the material world. So many things are there, and these samskaras, these seeds of material sense enjoyment, they are very much there. Once in a while, they come to the surface of our mind, and they torment us. They disturb us. So, what we do when our good seed, we start watering it with the devotion by chanting Sravanam Kirtanam, going to temple, doing service, and but I mean, our desire is to burn all of them. But because we have still desire to enjoy the material world, we are also pouring water not only to Bhaktilata, and we are pouring water to the weeds. Sometimes we pour water only to the weeds. You're very good at doing service. Then natural temple in ISKCON, America, there are not so many devotees, and they expect you. You are the head pujari, you are the senior cook, you are the senior preacher, or you are the spokesman of the temple. You sing very well, you give nice classes. All these things, they inflate our false ego. Then what happens? The samskaras, they get strength. And Bhaktilata, There is no strength because we are not pouring water to bhakti lata. We are pouring water to these unwanted impurities. Actually, what if it happens, it'll kill. Next verses will come actually about that only. The weeds will kill the tiny plant doesn't grow. It stays like this only. The weeds will grow. And what they will do? Whenever you pour water, you know, the weeds will take, making this tiny plant dry. So we have to be careful. We have to be careful what we are pouring, where we are pouring our water. On the weeds, these externals. One day, one mother came, brahmacharya ashram, and my son controls all the brahmacharis. You know, his guru has a lot of respect for him. Hare Krishna. Whatever is there in the material world, that's what they implement. That is what they're trying to. That's what everyone wants: power and position. His guru consults only him before decision making. Hare Krishna. So when yada te mohakalilam buddhir vyatrishyasi tadha gantasi nirvedam srotavyasya srutasya cha. So what is that? When our consciousness and buddhi or intellect go beyond the boundaries of this material world, or when we are free from the illusion of this material world, then what is that? We remove the desire to hear this Gramya Katha, metal talk. We have to train our minds in accordance with what Raghunathas Goswami teaches in this verse. Srotavyasya, srotavyasya cha srutasya. Srotavyasya, srutasya. Bhakti Vinod Jnana Maharaj writes a nice thing. One day one brahmachari came to me and said, Maharaj, I'm sorry to tell you. This lady, this young girl is seducing me. I have become victim of it. Maharaj said, in his telling, there is some accomplishment. Someone approached me. So should I continue? Maharaj saw that. Then the boy asked, Maharaj, should I continue the relationship? Maharaj said, no. She's not good for you. Then he said, what if I make her a devotee? Hare Krishna. So our desire to enjoy, let me be honest with you, I am in the same boat. I am a conditioned soul. I'm repeating it. By saying this, sharing with you, hopefully my desires that are dormant, hopefully they die down. Or I pray to Krishna that they don't come to the surface. Not that I'm a Paramahamsa. No, definitely not. Just sharing. You should know that. I'm sure you all agree with whatever I'm speaking, right? They are there in our heart. Why we should read Bhagavatam? Bhagavatam breaks faith in the material world. Bhagavatam breaks faith in the material world. So this is not just a 9 o'clock class on Saturday. Then some other class I'll hear. No, this is Manasaksha training, not somebody's mind. Our mind. Training our mind. Can we address false ego? So subtle. So what is that? What is that? Excuse me. So when the seeds, these weeds, they grow. You have to be careful. And Maharaj writes, if we offend devotees, offensive mentality, you can see for yourself, when we offend anybody, devotees, immediately our desire to enjoy material world grows. A particular desire, you know, it happens the next day or next few days, for sure. Bhakticharya Swami says, without Krishna's mercy, we cannot conquer these impurities, lust, anger, envy, greed. So my point is, what is that? Uh, uh, we have to be very careful what we are trying to inculcate. Bhakti or something appearing like bhakti. Careful. We should be very, very careful actually. Um, um, our consciousness is based on our tongue. Our consciousness is based on what we eat, for sure. Somebody, tongue means what? What we eat and what we speak. What we eat and what we speak. We have to be careful. you know, um, because we are working very hard to attain Krishna's lotus feet. We're getting up in the morning. We have given up our what is it? Old bad habits. We have given up past attachments. We have given up past associations. All your friends they're cut off. You don't talk to them. They don't talk to you. But then, after 20 years, also same impurities. Sometimes you get a feeling I'm not making progress. No, you're making definitely. So, what is that? Kali Yuga. The distractions are so many. Cornel West, professor in Princeton University, he says this. There are weapons of mass distraction. And devotees, what is that? They were chanting attentively. Kali went and compliant to Maya. So these devotees are nicely chanting. They're not falling victim. Maya said, "Don't worry, what's up? What's up?" So you're chanting Hare Krishna. I've seen people Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Ting! Immediately they'll open the phone. Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Ting! This is chanting time. I've seen again and again. Nothing will happen if you don't bring cell phone. Trust me. Even if you don't see one day, nothing happens. Because we are so much used to it. Email, slash, where what text message I got, what WhatsApp message I got, what email I got. And like news, literally not so serious. Nothing so serious anyway. So actually one lecture I heard, Radhanath Swami says, internet. It's a net. That's how Maya works. Internet. World Wide Web. What's web? Like in a spider web, any the insect falls, what happens? It dies. Spider kills. So likewise, now this is a internet. It is a net. So my point is, uh, when we offend devotees, when we share this asatvarta, when we what do you call that mundane talk, our samskaras get the strength. Our bhakti becomes weak. Two things will happen. Our bad samskaras, so you are starving them. You're not feeding them at all. They are dying. They're dying. But you say, news, pick it up. Then Bhaktilata starts becoming weak. You got up in the morning, you're chanting your rounds, you're eating prasad, Ekadasi only, and you're following Ekadasis. But now, somehow Bhaktilata is becoming strong, but again, by doing these things, you're making Bhaktilata weak. And Bhagavatam very interestingly says, when you criticize somebody, it's out of envy. When you glorify somebody, it is also envy. I mean, a genuine appreciation, genuine glorification, without any malice in the heart, it's good. Bhagavatam says, we should not glorify and we should not criticize, but one thing you can do, glorify. That's allowed. But this Maharaj writes, should not glorify also. But Bhagavatam says, both should not be done, not glorification, not criticism. Of the both, glorification can be done, but not the criticism. Gets it? So, because the criticism is based on envy, actually, one time Vaisheshika Prabhu, I was talking to him, he said this. Bhagavatam says, don't glorify others and don't envy others. But, if you're in a temple environment where, you have congregations, you need to encourage them, appreciate them. So, appreciation is fine. But glorification means doing little more than what is needed. That should not be done. Abraham Lincoln, one day he was just, he was going to school. On the way, he stopped at a blacksmith, shop. Blacksmith, wow, what a wonderful boy. He understood, the real thing is here. Can you come and, start pressing that, pushing the bellows. 4 hours, he kept on glorifying Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln thought this would never end. Since then, anybody would glorify Abraham Lincoln, you would understand they know something. They want something. But genuine appreciation is not a problem. Definitely, it's not a problem. So what is that? When we do this, when we act on the level of envy and do anything, our samskaras will get the strength. And whether it is a TV, whether it is Facebook, whether it's WhatsApp, you have to be, even Indian politics or American politics, then what happens? Our desire to make progress in bhakti is ruined. Ramchandra Puri, Lord Chaitanya, Ishwara Puri's, and God brother, Madhavendra Puri was in his last days and he developed that, Madhavendra Puri is Nitya Siddha devotee from spiritual world. So he's telling, where is Krishna, where is Krishna, where is Krishna? Aidina Dayardra Nada He Madhura Nada Kadava Lokya Se Hrudayam Tvad Lokya Katram Daita Brahmya Sikim Karamyaham. So my Radharani would said this verse actually, So, Lord of Madhura, feeling separation, intense separation. Madhavendra when Madhavendra Puri was going through, Ishwara Puri was serving him very humble and menially. But Ramchandra Puri came and said, why are you? This is Guru. What type of is Madhavendra Puri? He said, if you don't get Krishna, meditate on Brahman. He said that, and he quoted this verse. What is that? Brahmabodha prasannatmana sochitana kankshit. Samas sarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim labate. If you attain, you have to attain Brahmabodha stage. You should not lament, and something great happens, you should not be happy. That neutral state you should attain. Why are you feeling so sad? Hare Krishna. For that reason, he'll ask the mercy. He corrected his guru. Madhavendra Puri became angry. He said, "You rascal, if you are in front before me, I cannot return Krishna. Go away from here." So, what is that? Uh, so what is that? Even if you have attained liberation, Prabhupada says this: if we offend a devotee, exalted devotee, Mahabhava devotee, after attaining the stage of liberation also, he'll fall down. Attaining the stage of, so we should not criticize anybody. The vasanas, the material desires are so dormant, zip like snakes. They surface, and what is that? On the surface, and they will give us trouble. So the next one is liberation. We discussed this, but little more explanation on that. Kaivalya Narakayate, there is a Apuraka Pushpayate. This was what was told by Prabodhananda Saraswati. Why Kaivalya is hellish? Why liberation is hellish? Especially liberation means for Vaishnavas, we don't accept becoming one with God. We don't accept becoming one with God. Why? Even you merge in Brahman, you don't have real happiness is with loving exchange. When we go to spiritual world, why there will be unlimited happiness? Because Krishna will be there. Like in America, you come to America, you see, holy place of America. You go to the first holy tirtha, what is that? Niagara Falls. Then second holy tirtha, Grand Canyon. Third holy tirtha, Disneyland. You see all the places in America. And you say, I got it. Spiritual world is not like that. Why? Actually, real happiness is by loving exchange. And you'll have loving exchange with whom? Krishna. Akhila Rasamrita Murti. That person who has infinite mellows. With that person, you'll have a loving exchange. And you'll never be bored. What bored? Your happiness keeps on increasing. That is infinity. What is spiritual? Infinity means what? Krishna's infinite love means what? Our infinite happiness is there means what? It keeps on increasing. Why Krishna has to come as a Lord Chaitanya to understand the love of Radharani? This is Krishna, not you or me. Krishna is right. Krishna keeps on expanding, right? And Krishna expands, Radharani love expands too. Like in one sincere wife and husband is happy with wife. Then somebody comes and proposes, no, I'm not just, I'm happy. But Krishna is infinite. He wants infinite love. And in fact, our little love is actually Radharani's love for Krishna. So Radharani says, all right, she's also, Krishna, we have to satisfy Krishna because he wants infinite pleasure because he is infinite pleasure. He wants infinite love. Oh, this one. So Krishna wants to finish everything. Krishna says, I have finished everything. Radharani says, no, here, this one, take it. So likewise, Radharani's love is growing infinite. Then finally Krishna thought, I cannot understand by enjoying this love. I need to go as a devotee. Then only I'll come to know my position because I am what is that? Ashraya Vigraha, and Krishna is the object of love. Radharani is the abode of love. So I have to go on the other side and look at me as from devotee angle. Then only I'll understand. So that's why Radharani's spiritual world is unlimited. Means it keeps on expanding. What does it mean by keeping on expanding? It means the loving exchanges, the happiness grows. When Krishna looks at the beauty of gopis, beauty increases. Seeing Gopi's beauty increasing, Krishna's happiness increases. Seeing Krishna's happiness increases. When Gopis see Krishna's happiness increasing, their beauty increases. When their beauty increases, Krishna's happiness increases. Krishna's happiness increases, Gopi's happiness increases. Actually, we can keep on talking like this only. But in this impersonal liberation, that's eternal, no doubt. You have to merge, which is not your original constitution position. And you have to stay there. That's why it is hellish. There is no service. How do you correlate with Krishna? With service. That's not there. Understanding, right? You know? So, also, becoming one with God and lose your identity. Soul is very active. All the pleasures. You know, soul is very active, and we want to actually, you know, our happiness is in serving. I'm sorry, just give me 1 minute. Let me, I'm getting distracted. Our happiness is in service, and in service we receive unlimited enjoyment. You know, but what is happening? What's happening? We have a, you want to lose your existence. You know, just give me one. So that impersonal liberation is actually like that. When you want to become one with God and lose your existence, all my problems are because I have my individual existence. If I lose it, you know, Prabhupada calls it a spiritual suicide. Spiritual suicide. And what is that? Yeah, this one will come, then we'll go back. And the material things. What is the material things? Bhukti and mukti. Mukti we already spoke. Impersonal liberation is hellish. What is bhukti? Is mental sense enjoyment. You know, when you eat sugar cane, there is some juice. After some time, if you eat no taste. Like bubble gum, you eat bubble gum, initially there's some taste, after some time, no taste. The material pleasures are like that. You know, there are nectar in the beginning, poison at the end. Parinama Mishmeva, any pleasure in this world. Unless you're convinced, you cannot become a preacher. Unless you're convinced, you cannot become a preacher. So we need to, you know, in the middle, Dukhalayam, Krishna is telling Ashashvatam, this middle, this place is a place of misery and temporary. This place is a place of misery and temporary. We should be convinced of that. But that should not make us depressed. Why? Because we have Krishna. You know, if we have Krishna, you know, then it's a very happy thing. And we help others. And very interesting, Lakshmi Patim. You reduce your, you know, Lakshmi Pati, what is that? Raghunath Das Goswami is telling you, you know, he's telling we should give up that attachment to Narayan. Narayan is Krishna. Why he's telling? Vaikuntha means worshipping Krishna in the mood of awe and reverence. Worshipping Narayan, there Vaikuntha Bhakti is what? Reverential worship. Awe and reverence. You know? And you worship me with reverential attitude. Vrindavan Bhakti means intimacy. Vrindavan Bhakti means intimacy. I have a story to tell you today, nice story. You know, okay, time is less, but I'll try to finish it. We started a little late. You know, Vrindavan Bhakti means intimacy. Last week I told, right? Lakshmi and Narayan, they stand side by side. As though they're posing for a picture. Gopakumar goes. You know, what is actually, no, today I was giving another class. Brahma was bewildered, seeing Krishna's loving intimate exchanges. What Krishna did? He went in front of Madhumangal, and Madhumangal was eating laddus. He did like this. One laddu came, he ate it. Krishna took it and ate it. See, we don't do that. This is Krishna. Brahma thought, no, this is not my father. I know Narayan very well. That much intimate Krishna is. He'll come home and he'll steal your butter and yogurt. He'll play with your kids. And he'll come and say, can you give a little bit? That is Krishna. That much intimacy. So Gopkumar one day went to Vaikuntha. It's very intimate. So Gopkumar went to Vaikuntha and Narayan is there. Narayan is there, but Gopkumar wants to play with Narayan. But whenever he wants to have an intimate exchange with Narayan, people would come and shh, don't disturb him. Supreme Lord. He creates all the universes, he maintains them. And Gopkumar said, no, this is not I did with Krishna. So one day Gopkumar lifted, he from his waist, he took out the flute and started playing. Krishna Narayan was watching. Wow. Amazing. That is great. So Narayan was attracted to Gopkumar actually. But in Vrindavan, Vaikuntha, so Gopkumar was very, where is Narayan? Where did he go? He wants to follow Narayan. Hey, don't disturb the Lord. Just now he delivered Gajendra and came back. So nobody knows when he goes and when he comes. Gopkumar didn't like it. Then Narayan said, all right, okay. One day, let us all, we'll also do. Gopkumar was there. So Narayan was influenced by Vrindavan mode. So Narayan became, Lakshmi became Radharani. And the other Shakti, she became Chandravali. Then the cows. Gopkumar liked it. Narayan also liked it. But again, it finished in 1 minute. Again, Narayan, serious. Sangha Chakra Gada Padma. Then Narad Muni saw Gopkumar. Gopkumar said, I don't know why I'm not happy. Narad Muni said, you don't belong here. With Krishna, you are used to the intimacy of Krishna. You're all listening? The difference between Vaikuntha and Goloka, non-mood. You want to play with Krishna. You want to joke with Krishna. Krishna would carry Madhumangal. He would carry Sridhama on his shoulders. The day Pralambasur came to kill Krishna, so what happened? Krishna was defeated, and Pralambasur joined the team of Krishna, thinking Krishna would win, but Krishna lost. So Krishna had to carry, Sridhama, and Pralambasur carried Balramji. So can you imagine the Supreme Personality of God is carrying you? Vrindavan mood is different. Forget, even between Vrindavan and Dwarka, that mood is different. Dwarka, there is one mood. Radharani went to Kurukshetra. Krishna, no flute, so much jewelry, crown, elephants. Krishna said, Radharani said, Krishna, you are there, we are there, but Vrindavan is not there. In Vrindavan, you had all the forest, you're decorated with forest flowers, the turban, so sweet, and you would play on the flute and Vrindavan. But here you're a king. We don't like this mood. Come, let us go to Vrindavan. That cowherd boy, that sweet cowherd boy. This dress is very formal, So all this jewelry, gold, so many, so many ministers. What is this? Vrindavan mood is different. So the story I want to tell is, Sri Bhaktivinoda Vijnana Maharaj says the story, not mine. Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj, at a very young age, he went to Vrindavan. He did intense sadhana. He eventually became 50. He thought throughout my life, and then that time what happened? Some people were going all over India, visiting different holy place of pilgrimage. He thought, I came here, I stayed in Braj all throughout my life. I don't know other places. I want to go. One is what is that? In South India, Sri Rangam, Rameshwaram, then Jagannath Puri, then Dwaraka, Badrinath, all these places. Very interesting story. So when people are going, you want to go with them. One day Radharani came in the dream and said, everything that you want is there in Braj. Why do you want to go? Don't go. Stay here only. Then Radharani told that he thought, he did not, he did not take it seriously. He thought his mind is telling him not to go. And he left. He left. He visited Sri Rangam, then he came to Jagannath Puri, then he went to Dwarka. In Dwarka, when he entered the toilet, they put a mark on his body. So he visited all the holy place, he came back. When he came back, he had a dream. Radharani came. Radharani said, look, you have changed your mood. In Dwarka, Satyabhama identified you as her, followers. There is a mark on your body, So that mood is different from this mood. If you ask me, so you will create disturbance in Vraj, because you'll speak on that and you'll preach same thing. If you ask me, leave Vraj. In other words, Radharani is rejecting you. Correct. Krishnadas Bhojamara was shocked. Out of inquisitiveness, he went everywhere. He traveled. But for him, everything is Vraj. Everything is Radha and Krishna. Everything is Vrindavan. When she said like this, he was shocked. He went to all the big devotees and approached them and said, please help me. This is what has happened. I got this message from Radharani. They all said, if Radharani is telling like that, so she is Vrindavaneshwari, we cannot, so we should leave. But he doesn't want to leave. What he did? He wanted to again attain the mercy. That day onwards he stopped eating. He stopped eating and fasting. An intense sadhana to attain that mercy. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, not eating, sadhana. Just to get the divine couple's mercy, Radha and Krishna mercy. One day what happened? Because of this intense sadhana, one day his body was, his body was on fire. Not that, that fire element, because he was not eating and he was intense separation, sadhana. His body was on fire. Everyone came to see what's happening. He was chanting, but the body was on fire, body was burning. And everyone started telling, please come, please come, come. They called Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. So then the flames, so the entire body started burning. The flames rose, consuming his body, but he was chanting. Finally, the flames rose up to neck. He raised his hands with beads. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj saw that. Wow, that fire of separation, intense separation, Vipralamba. Then 1 second, his body, In 1 second, everything was burnt, only with ashes, in a split second, it's done. The ashes fell on the ground and it disappeared. Even today, a festival is celebrated. So Jagannath Das Boj Maharaj said, wow, Vipralambha, intense separation, fire of separation from Krishna. So the point is, why gopis, Krishna tested them. Krishna assumed that Narayan 400 Vishnu form, Narayan form. But gopis, they know Vishnu, Narayana is God, Supreme Personality of Godhead. But they don't know Krishna is God. But what they did, they went and offered obeisances. My Lord, where is Krishna? Krishna, in the form of Narayan, he showed this way. They all went that way. Amazing. Radharani came. This is Narayan. Narayan. My Lord, where is Krishna? Krishna raised his hand. Narayan, Krishna in the form of Narayan raised his hand and said, showed. He went this side. But Radharani's love for Krishna is so intense. Krishna could not conceal his Krishna form. The two hands, out of four, two hands melted. And Krishna had to reappear in Krishna form. That is the intensity of devotion of Raj. Intensity of devotion, intimacy, and madhurya, sweetness. So what Srila Prabhupada has given us entrance into, if we appreciate, and let's take it seriously, we go forward. You're understanding? So, so what is that? Srila Prabhupada, when he came, and because of course, one is ours is Gaura Braj Bhakti, Vrindavan Bhakti, and Vrindat Madhurya added to that is Audarya of Lord Chaitanya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's magnanimity. Why Lord Chaitanya is Mahavadanyaya? Krishna came to stage these pastimes of Vrindavan, Golok Vrindavan, in the material world, Gokul, of course. Gokul is spiritual world. He came to stage these pastimes to attract all of us. Narsingadev came to protect Prahlad. Vamadev came to take everything from Bali Maharaj and give it to Devadas. So everyone has fish incarnation too. Fish incarnation to protect this boat during the universal devastation. Boat of seeds. And the Saptarishis and Satyavrata sage, the king Satyavrata. So likewise, but Lord Chaitanya's, what is his advent? What is the reason for his advent? Only one. To give Krishna Prema to everyone. What Brahman you are looking for? Neyam sada paribhavagnam abhishtadoham tirthaspadam Siva Virinchi notam saranyam. What Brahman Shiva are looking for? That Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to freely give. To whom? What is the qualification? You should be utterly disqualified. Prabhupada came to New York to give it to hippies. Hare Krishna. What Brahma and Shiva are looking for, that is magnanimity. Though it is highest, still Prabhupada made it simple by giving Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He made it simple, the artis and different. And he knew we have this focusing problem. So 20 minutes, 25 minutes, some Sardhavanala, then 5 minutes with Mangala, then Nursing Arti, then again Tulsi Arti, then what is that? Shiksha Ashtagam, then 10 offenses, then this is all why change because Americans have this focusing problem. Americans cannot focus on, Westerners cannot focus a lot. Then Prabhupada, somehow to make them accept this ultimate, the highest thing, to make them accept. Prabhupada made that many changes 64 rounds, he brought it to 16 rounds. So why I'm telling these things, if you understand, we'll become serious. You know, any question? This is Rupa Goswami explaining this to a discussion between Rupa and Raghunath Das Goswami. You know, anyway, any question or comment?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam, All Guru Srila Prabhupada.
Dandat.
Prabhuji, a question mentioned regarding, I wanted to ask about the offensive and fault finding mentality. So many times we always, meaning in my heart, in my mind, always I find fault. I do offenses mentally. By hearing the classes, by guidance of Shiksha Guru or by senior Vaishnava, we don't act on them, but it is always there. We always, it comes and it, we identify, yes, it is coming, I am finding fault. Even if we are not acting, how do we stop that mentality? How do we stop those thoughts coming in our heart?
Probably you're asking a wrong person, let me tell you. But if you want me to, what is that? Whatever I heard, I can just repeat. I'm also the victim of it. Especially if you're in the management, you cannot avoid it. One time I asked this Sadhana Swami Maharaj, I told this last week. Maharaj, sometimes I hear a lot. Maharaj said, don't act on it. But anyway, your question is there on the mental level, how to make sure they don't come to the external level, right?
Yes.
So the answer,
I mean, at the mental level also they are there. I mean, my question is like, how do we stop at the mental level, or is it not possible?
First thing is mental level, there is no offense. But one thing I can tell you, if there is a mental level, one day it will come out with experience. I'll tell you. I've seen that. If it is in the mental level, you know that mind has 3 levels, right? Thinking, feeling, and willing.
Yes.
And one day it will come out. So we should pray. This first thing is we should understand we are weak. There is an organization called Alcoholic Anonymous. What they do, they understand I cannot on my own conquer this habit, alcoholism. They take shelter of one thing they do. All the people of Alcoholic Anonymous, they have a book of prayer. For them it's like a Bible actually. So in that, first thing they say, I am helpless. My Lord, you help me. Same thing you can apply here. First thing is, you should try to detest. Detest means hate these thoughts. Second thing, if you identify that as a problem, that's actually first ray of success, because we don't even think that we have it. So second thing is, when we identify the problem, when the thoughts come, we should pray. Please, my Lord, I don't want this. I have a question for you. What is that? When a thought of envy comes, is it happy? No, it's not happy. It's miserable actually. But you should know the worst thing you can do to the mind is ignore. Unwanted guests, unwanted thoughts. If you don't feed them, they will not stay. A guest comes, don't feed him, he'll go away. So likewise, thoughts, if they're coming again and again, Ravindra Swarup Prabhu says this, means you have some attachment for that. If they're coming again and again, you have liked it. Let it be a sexual desire, let it be offending people, or gulab jamun. You have some attachment, some taste for it, for sure. That's what it is. Ravindra Swarup Prabhu writes, says. So when the bad thoughts come, Radhashyam Prabhu says, let it go, don't act on it. But pray, my Lord, please remove it. And as Alcoholic Anonymous people, what they do, they hate drinking alcohol. But the problem is they're victims, they're weak. So that's why they understand they're weak and they take shelter of the prayer. If we do the same thing here also, actually whatever I'm thinking of myself, applying, I'm telling you try this. But it's actually, Prabhuji, our samskaras of billions of lifetimes are there, Prabhu. It doesn't happen overnight. At least for myself, that's what, we try sincerely. Positivity. What is positive? This is negativity. What is positivity? Develop attraction to Krishna. Intense attraction will burn the negativity. That's what I can tell. Okay. It's not easy
Yes,
though.
thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank
Prabhuji, if we
you.
have time, can I ask one more question?
Time is there. Today we started late, right? Yeah.
Okay. So Prabhuji, like when there are like Ekadashis or any particular time when we chant extra rounds, so we finish at the beginning, there is a focus always. Like when we start, there is enthusiasm and you focus, your mind is at least cooperating. But
Mm,
once certain rounds are done,
mm,
mind starts, giving trouble.
mm,
And it comes to the stage that it's not even listening to you. It's so rebellious that it goes out and
mm,
it doesn't listen. And then you feel like, why I'm not able to complete all my rounds with the same enthusiasm that I started with? Why can't I end with the same enthusiasm? So
mm.
how do we practice that, Prabhuji? How do we have that same enthusiasm until I finish my last round that I started first round enthusiasm? How do I have the same enthusiasm to finish my last round?
Mind is like a child. You know, whatever you said, I experienced that before. You know, especially with if you increase your I'll chant this 64 rounds. I've seen after some time mind will resist. You know, so that's why we have to step by step, little bit, little bit, little bit. Over a period of time, mind will understand. Like children. Uh, do you know this? I'm sure you're a father of two. When they don't, the moment they're sleepy, they become cranky. So you understand. Wow. So likewise, every day, you have experience. The day you start chanting 4 rounds, four, then you jump to 8 rounds. What is this? I don't want to. No, this is very good. This is very good. So it's like a slowly in couple of years, you brought it to the 16 rounds. Man says, only you can just listen to 16 rounds. Now do whatever you want to do. Now I'm sure you agree. After 16 rounds are done, whatever you stipulated regular rounds, immediately mind will drift away because mind wants to enjoy and you're holding it, right? So mind will drift away. Mind says, look, I have listened to you, Prabhu, enough is enough. Now I'll do what I want to do next 22 hours. No, but fine, at least that is a great victory, Prabhu. You are able to focus for 2 hours. Mind came up to that stage. Now what you said, hey, you listen to me 8 hours, 64 rounds. Definitely not. So Kaliga means we are all Rajo. Actually I'm Rajo. One good thing is actually for this type of rounds, morning you chant. And now you increase rounds. I mean, especially want to chant extra rounds. After, when you touch afternoon, Rajo means environment is against you. You try chanting your rounds at 2 o'clock, Sunday. Why? Rajo. Environment is surcharged with the Rajo, and you major Prabhupada is 98% of 95% in 70. Means maybe today 98% are Rajo. So you're also Rajo, that is also environment is Rajo. Then mind is resist. We have to work now. You have to do this, like you're chanting, but your mind will drift away. I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. That's why many devotees have seen them not chanting their rounds in the afternoons. After 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, they'll chant. Tamogun. So when the Tamagun starts, you will shift, devotees will come to goodness. And those people, especially Ekadasi rounds, I've seen them, they would finish their 64 round by 10 o'clock. Means if you got up very early, and you can do that. So morning is all mode of goodness. No problem. That's what I've seen. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Anyone has any other question? Otherwise, we'll end it.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanavad Pranam. Thank you for the wonderful class, Prabhuji. I just wanted to get a clarification on glorification and appreciation, Prabhuji. Is glorification exaggerating, and does appreciation mean encouraging?
Actually, honestly speaking, Bhagavad Bhagavatam says both should not be done. But one thing can be done. So that's why today I try to, Bhakti Vigyan Maharaj writes, he was very strict, no glorification. I know. So the simple point is, but when I was reading it, I thought, why? Appreciation is important. When somebody does service, we are not on that stage of Paramahamsas, I don't know, we need. So that's why I try to brought this slight difference. We need to appreciate. I'm also in a temple setting. We have devotees. So we need to appreciate. But there is a higher angle on that. In a sense, Bhakti Maharaj says, when you're appreciating a devotee, it means you're envious of him. To overcome that, you're appreciating. So, of course, I have not seen him recent past. I definitely want to ask him, but I can tell you this. When there is an exaggeration, it means you want either something from them. That's why I gave you that Lincoln story. So if you just want to use them, that's why one type of appreciation is actually usually in our circles. I'm sure I know, in your temple, in your place, we appreciate out of genuine gratitude. Thank you, bro. You've done a wonderful job. I'm really, we are very grateful to you. That's perfect. But I'll tell you, when I go to India or anywhere, especially these rickshaw people, auto people, they call me Maharaj. Means they give me a little more respect. They may not know I'm not a sannyasi, but basically they call like this so that I'll get into their auto. This Abraham Lincoln, and that blacksmith, he wanted to use Abraham Lincoln, that's why he was glorifying. You're understanding, right? That slight difference is there. But in this world, definitely we need to appreciate, So that's why I try to give the difference between glorification and appreciation, So basically, exaggeration should not be there, but some appreciation should always be there. Actually, one time Pune Yatra, Jayapatak Swami, one devotee said, Maharaj, I don't get I've been working, so I'm working in the temple, but they don't appreciate me. Maharaj said, give me the phone number of the temple president, I'll call him right now. Why he doesn't appreciate? So it is needed. But Maharaj said at the end, what is that? Prabhu, we should not look for appreciation. If they don't appreciate, one lecture Radhana Swami said, if we don't appreciate you, Prabhu, we will fall down. If you take that appreciation, you will fall down. Interesting, right? So, because, if that is what we are expecting, Jayapatak Swami Maharaj said, Prabhuji, even if nobody is appreciating, you should know Krishna is appreciating you. If you keep on looking for it, you'll be a spoiled child. Because Suddha Bhakti is higher than these things. You're understanding?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
So, if it comes, take it. Actually, if it comes, if you're not careful and you take it, you'll fall down also. Because it is Guru's, it should be given to Guru and Krishna. It is not ours. Like a singer, somebody sings, you sing very well. Then somebody comes and says, oh, Mata, you sang very well, amazing. But what is your role? The song was, Hare Krishna mantra is not, you don't own it. It was written, printed on a book, Krishna's energy. You have to push mic, Krishna's energy, and vocal cords. This body given by Krishna, and you're pushing air through your vocal cords. Air is owned by Krishna. Then what is yours? Only one thing. Your desire to sing. Rest all Krishna something. If you understand it, you'll give when somebody glorifies you without being affected by it in an unhealthy way. You will pass it to Guru and Krishna. Otherwise, what happens? We take it up, and then weeds start growing. I am a great singer. When you go to a program, you look for everyone. Why you're not looking at me? And I have come here to sing. Call me. That's bad attitude. That's why, Bhagavatam says, Bhagavatam, what is that? Cautions, against criticism and glorification. Does it answer your question?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So we'll end it here. If anyone has anything other last one, but otherwise we'll end it here. It's late. 10. Dandot Pranam Shropa. Hare Krishna. Next week we'll continue with the next verse. These verses are very important, and yes, actually luckily I have 10 o'clock. I have one more engagement today. I don't have it. Next week onwards I have that engagement. So we'll start 9 o'clock and at 10 o'clock somehow I think Archagat Prabhu forgot. So sorry. If I've spoken anything wrong, excuse me as your servant. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Dhanavad.
Hare Krishna, Dhanavad.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanavad
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Dandavad Pranam.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Dhanavad.